In today's Growing Oklahoma, we're talking about vermicomposting. How about that? Put more plainly, worms.
Right.
Worms.
And we're
That's what
joined
we're
by Nathen Barber with Scissortail Park, but best known to most as Worm. There you go.
Or Wiggles on the weekend.
Nicknames.
So I never thought about vermicomposting. You said this is something that you can do all year long. It's all
Year round.
Okay.
So the big benefit this has over your traditional hot composting is it takes up a lot less space and it's a lot faster, more than twice as fast as traditional composting.
Wow.
So if you're stuck in an apartment or something, this is a really good way that you can divert waste from your kitchen.
Get one of these bins.
Get one of these bins. You can make one yourself if you're into DIY. They're real easy to make. Or, you know, online, they have kits. They'll give you everything you need to get started.
What's something like that cost? Just for...
I think a normal kit about this size with everything included probably gonna run you about $100, $150.
Okay. It'll last you forever.
It'll last you forever, absolutely.
Bobby said she was just dying to pop the top.
Oh,
See
yeah.
what's inside
Let's
here.
take
So
you're
when
right,
you're in
Colby.
here-
Let's take a peek.
Well, it's got multiple layers, and as you go down each layer, it gets a little bit finer.
By the way,
Got the
more
worms in the
worms?
way.
are these red earthworms?
These are
or
red wigglers.
red wigglers.
Uh-huh. They're your traditional composting worm. I've got a whole bin of them right here where we can see them a little more clearly.
Okay, you're gonna dump them
I'm
in.
gonna dump them in right here. And see, there they are all balled up at the bottom together.
Are those
Oh, wow.
adults?
Most of them are adults.
Okay,
You can
so
see
they're small. They're not like the big night crawler.
Yeah, they're small. They only get about 4 or 5 inches across. I'll go ahead and dump them in here. But they're really easy to take care of. You basically just feed them as much as they eat. The main problem people are gonna face when they're dealing with these worms is feeding them too much.
Oh.
It'll start stinking. Basically,
because they're not getting rid of it.
the worms should smell good. It should smell like a nice, fresh garden whenever you're working with
okay.
them.
So the idea is that you basically have a place for your worms, and that's where you develop the soil. Then you take that soil and use it on your garden or wherever.
Oh, yes.
That's sort of the general
And leave the worms
idea.
in it.
You leave the worms, I mean, the worms, they
They're gonna
can
go with it
They
if you
can
take
come
them
out
out.
and go into your garden. They'll help your garden.
Aerate it.
They'll aerate it, and they should repopulate the bin in no time on their own.
Great.
The main thing to think of is what are you feeding them? How much are you feeding them? You don't want to feed them too much.
You just put shredded up paper in
Yeah.
there. They'll take care of that too?
They'll take care of paper. There's 2 main kinds of food. You got your green food, that's your kale and your broccoli stems, your old berries you don't get to.
What about
Those are
banana
your greens.
peels and things like that?
Banana peels are good.
Everything.
You don't want to do oranges, anything citrus.
Really?
No,
Too acidic.
Too acidic, exactly.
Okay.
No onions or garlic, and then no meat or cheese. Anything that'll go rancid.
What about eggshells?
They love eggshells. Just crush them up.
Yeah.
It's their
That's
favorite.
a treat.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's their weekend treat. And what else do you have in there?
This right here, this is the finished vermicompost that we harvested from our bins at
Yeah?
Scissortail Park. You can see it's just a beautiful, very
Look
fine.
at the richness of it.
Uh-huh.
You know what else they like? Old coffee grains.
Oh,
Am I right?
Yes, we have partnerships with coffee shops, and we feed them tons of coffee grains.
Yeah, so if you use a Keurig, let's say, and you know, just cut it open and dump that in there.
Yes, they'd love that. They don't want too much of it because it is kind of acidic.
Okay.
But, I mean,
A little goes a long way.
we feed them a lot, and we've never gotten too much.
Okay, so you can order it on Amazon, wherever you want it, wherever you find it, and then, but where do you buy your worms?
Worms also online, or there are dozens of worm farms already established for profit in Oklahoma. Sometimes at Scissortail we do giveaways. If you come and start a conversation with me, you might get some out of me.
There we
All
go.
right,
Thanks,
Nathan.
Wiggles.
Worm delivering the worm.
Yeah.
All right.
Great job.
right.
Well, speaking of things growing, still ahead, the city ordinance you might not know about.
Why you may want to get a mower out ASAP. We'll show you why coming up.